8 friends get together for a dinner party in California, catching up, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. The air feels light, but there's something strange about tonight. It's the night a comet is passing close to Earth. Kevin casually asks Emily if she wants to come with him on his business trip to Vietnam, but she doesn't say yes. It's not that she doesn't love him, but something holds her back. Also, Kevin's ex-girlfriend, Lori, is at the dinner, and she clearly wants him back. Emily can feel the tension in the air, even if Kevin doesn't seem to notice. Suddenly, the power goes out. The entire neighborhood is swallowed in darkness. Everyone looks at each other, confused, nervous. The only source of light is from the glow sticks they find in a drawer. They decide to use the blue ones. As they step outside, they see something even stranger. One house, just up the street, still has power. How is that possible? When they go back inside, something is off. A glass is broken on the floor. Did someone drop it earlier? No one remembers that happening. It's unsettling. Hugh and Amir decide to walk over to the lit-up house to ask to use their phone, since theirs aren't working. A few minutes later, they return, but they're not alone. They brought back a mysterious box. Their hands shake as they open it. Inside, there's a ping-pong paddle and photographs of themselves. But here's the weirdest part. One of the photos was taken tonight. How? And on the back of each picture, there are random numbers written. What do they mean? Hugh looks disturbed. He says when he was at the other house, he saw something shocking. Another dinner party, exactly like theirs, set for 8 people. The realization hits them like a wave. That house, it's not just another house. It's their house. Another version of it. Another version of them. Emily, still trying to make sense of it all, writes down the numbers from the photos, hoping to find some kind of pattern. But there is none. The more they try to figure things out, the more unsettling it gets. Then, a strange man suddenly appears outside, banging on the door. Everyone jumps. Fear grips them. Who is he? What does he want? But just as suddenly as he came, he leaves. And then, outside the door, they find something chilling. The same note they had just written, pinned there, as if someone had copied it and given it back to them. But how? How could someone have known what they were writing before they even put it outside? Panic starts setting in. Kevin, Emily, Mike, and Lori decide to go check out the other house, see what's really going on. But when they get there, their blood runs cold. Standing in front of them are people who look exactly like them. But something is different. Their glow sticks are red. The two groups freeze, staring at each other. And then, in a rush of fear, both groups turn and run back to their own houses. Breathless, they explain to the others what they saw. Exact copies of themselves, but with red glow sticks. This is beyond strange now. Something else, something terrifying. Hugh rushes to his car and pulls out some notes from a physics lecture. He reads frantically, his voice shaking. According to the notes, the comet's passing could cause a quantum split, creating multiple realities. And those realities could overlap. But what does that mean? It means there's not just one other house. There could be many. And when they step outside, they're not necessarily walking back into the same house. Every time they leave and come back, they could be entering a different reality. And when the comet leaves, only one reality will remain. The group starts arguing. What if the people from the other houses try to take over their reality? Mike, paranoid and panicking, suggests they should attack first, kill their copies before their copies kill them. The idea sends chills down their spines. That can't be the only way, right? Instead, they come up with another plan. Steal the physics notes from the other Hugh's car so that the other reality doesn't figure things out. But before they can act on that, Mike has another idea. He's going to blackmail the other version of himself. That way, the other Mike won't be able to interfere. And then, things get even worse. Turns out Hugh and Amir, the ones standing in front of them, aren't the ones they started the night with. They're from the red glow stick house. When did they switch? How many times have people switched? The two of them take the box and leave, going back to where they think they belong. But then, another Hugh and Amir return, this time with blue glow sticks. They say they found more notes at the other house. More proof that this is happening in multiple realities. The group is spiraling now. Beth is accused of drugging everyone with the ketamine she brought. People are pointing fingers, trying to figure out who they can trust. But does it even matter anymore? Outside, a loud noise makes them jump. Someone is smashing Hugh's car window. They rush outside, but Emily hesitates. She sees Kevin, and for a moment, everything feels normal. He's smiling at her, looking at her with warmth. And then it hits her. This isn't her Kevin. It's a Kevin from another reality. Her stomach drops, and she runs back inside before anyone else realizes what just happened. They need a way to track where they are. They come up with a plan. Each time they enter a house, they'll leave a random object inside a box and write numbers on the back of their pictures. Then, they'll compare those numbers to the ones from earlier. But when Emily looks at the notepad, her heart skips a beat. The numbers she wrote before, they're not the same anymore. How is that possible? When she asks around, only Lee and Beth remember the original numbers. Why? Because they never left the house. Kevin and Lori match Emily's memory, because they've been with her the whole time. Hugh and Amir? They remember another set of numbers because they switched realities twice. And Mike? He remembers yet another set. How many versions of them are there? And which ones are the originals? Tensions explode when a blackmail note arrives. Mike panics. What if they're the bad versions? What if they're the ones that need to be stopped? And then, as if answering his fears, another Mike barges in. This one violent, unhinged. Lori screams. Kevin rushes to protect her. It's chaos. Emily can't take it anymore. She runs. She stumbles from house to house, looking through windows, peeking inside. In some houses, her friends are fighting. In others, they're dead. It's horrifying. She has to find a way out of this. Then, finally, she finds it, the perfect house. In this version, nothing has gone wrong. No one is panicking. No one even realizes what's happening. And best of all, the Emily in this house is happy. She is the one who agreed to go to Vietnam with Kevin. This is the life Emily wants. She makes a terrible decision. She's going to replace this version of herself. She smashes a car window, knowing it will distract the group. Then, she ambushes her double, knocking her out with ketamine. But the other Emily fights back, crawling inside, trying to survive. Emily has no choice. She subdues her again in the bathtub. And then darkness. When she wakes up the next morning, everything seems fine. The house is peaceful. No one suspects a thing. She did it. She won. Or did she? She steps outside and sees Kevin. Relief washes over her until his phone rings. He looks down at the screen, then back up at her. His expression shifts. The call is coming from Emily's number. His eyes darken with suspicion. Does he know? The nightmare might not be over after all.